Hello everyone, Ace.fan here, and today is a special day. Today I'm at the Arlington Municipal Airport here in Washington, United States, and we'll be doing a sneak peek of the Me-262 restoration by the Flying Heritage Museum. This is a private event. They are almost finishing with the restoring the plane, and they sold about 250 tickets. So it was a very private, a very secret location. But let's take a look inside the hangar. We're gonna get to see a little bit of a glimpse of the Messerschmitt all the way back in the hangar. Now at the event we had some lectures on the restoration of the aircraft, a little bit of its history, especially the engines. That was an important part. But before we go there, because you see that the line is a little bit long, I want to point out something interesting that we also saw at the event that was unannounced. Right here on your right side we have a Spanish Heinkel 111, actually made in Spain, and you can see it's assembled the wings and the fuselage is right behind. Now it's a little bit hard to see, we're not allowed to go in there, but I'll try to take some pictures. And also for the lectures, I'll have a different video just for the lectures, the raw thing. If you want to watch all, I think there's over an hour of footage. And if you're interested in seeing the pictures, both of the Heinkel, which is not assembled, and also the Messerschmitt, I'll put a link in the description for my Flickr account. You can see, like, full resolution. So if you like pictures, that's where to go. One of the great things about this event is that you could really get close to the aircraft, take a lot of pictures, and you can see there are some ladders both going under the wing, also under the side of the fuselage for some close-up shots on the outside and also on the inside of the aircraft. Always following the golden rule of aviation museums: just don't touch the aircraft. So we're getting close to the end of the event, so we're gonna go for a quick walk around on the plane. So the engines is the same engines as the original, the Jomo 004 or Junker motors, whatever you're gonna pronounce. They were very unreliable back in the days, but they rebuilt it. It's the same engine, but what they did to make it more reliable is use new materials, modern and better quality materials, better metals. Back in these days, these engines were only supposed to run for about 25 hours, maybe 35 if nothing had happened, because the materials were so bad at the end of the war. Right now, they could go for like about 300 hours. And to clarify, these 300 hours are with the exact same design of the engine, but just using higher quality metals and pieces in the manufacturing. So the design of the engine was actually really good. What Germany lacked at the war was raw materials. And just coming back to my prior point where the engines were only supposed to be flown by about 25 hours, they weren't really meant to be repaired just because of how the assemble and the design was. It was very hard to unassemble and reassemble the engine. So instead of fixing the engines, the Germans would just throw it away, swap for a new one for the plane, and just get rid of it because the life cycle of this engine wasn't long at all. Another important thing to point out about these engines is that you couldn't just swap parts from engines with different serial numbers. So even though they were in the same production run, the parts and the sizes were actually a little bit different because of the tolerances that they had. So you have to only use pieces that were made for that specific engine because, some sizes of some parts would be different in all of them. So that made it really hard to, again, repair and fix engines. That's why everything there was just had to be replaced totally. Continuing on, another thing you mentioned would be the slats on this plane. They're all automatic. The pilot doesn't actually control them. They're controlled by the angle of attack that is sensed by the plane itself. All the flaps on the back, they are all hydraulic. And just to quickly go over the gear, it's funny because the prototypes of the Messerschmitts, they were actually tail draggers at first, but then they switched to tricycle configuration, so one gear in the front of the plane. But back when they were tail draggers, it was very hard for the plane to lift up, especially with the grass fields and all. So what the test pilots developed in the beginning of the development of the Messerschmitt was they would actually quick tap on the brakes to pull the nose down, so the tail would go up. Now the tail going up, instead of dragging on the ground, you would have access to airflow, and then they would be able to pull back on the elevator and thus taking off So that was actually a method that they used back in the day. Just a quick tap on the brakes, don't brake too much, otherwise you're gonna lose a lot of speed, and don't brake too little, otherwise the tail doesn't get up, so you can use it. Another mention on the engine, this one, it's actually they started another engine, a small one, it's more like a lawnmower tractor, just to start the engine, get the things going. That would actually start the Jimo 004, which is a very loud, very massive engine. And something to point out specifically to this model, you're gonna see that the configuration, it does have the cannons, but this model is actually a reconnaissance aircraft. They flew about 20,000 feet. They had 2 cameras pointing down about 15 degrees angles. And according to the people here, even if you were with the reconnaissance version, which you wouldn't be carrying guns because it's too heavy, the cameras were also pretty big. But the very front of the plane was actually a little bit different, just to, I think, a little bit longer to accommodate all the cameras and all the gear. And just to finish off, here in the front you can see the openings for the 4 30mm cannons, also the opening for the camera, and some people might point out, it kind of looks like a little shark.
He have engine failures, land, and everything like that.
That's it. A quick look on the Me-262 sneak peek that the Flying Heritage Museum was promoting the event. If you want to know more about this plane, check the links in the description or here as well on the side of the video. I post the full seminar that they did on the aircraft. Excuse me if the audio is a little bit lower, I had to adjust to compensate, and also there's some noise, but hopefully you'll be interested in that. The link is there. Also pictures will be in the description. And I'll let you know if any other event happens regarding this plane. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.